Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm gonna need you to get a hazmat suit for these toxic relationships. It's radioactive!
Okay, listen ladies, you may think your man is the moon, the stars, the ocean, but at best, he's a dirty puddle outside of Walmart, and I can promise you that no one wants him. So I went to a housewarming party for a friend, and I didn't know too many people there, so I kind of just stuck by my husband and to who I knew. Except one of the girls I did know at the party, I've only been around her a few times. I peeped that she was around a guy, and I assumed that's her new boyfriend. I don't know about you, but for me, what good is a party if I can't overhear other people's conversations? And my miscegenators had picked up her introducing her boyfriend to another girl at the party. Tell me how I heard this introduce her boyfriend, let's call him Adam. She goes to the girl, "This is my boyfriend Adam, and I just want to let you know he is unavailable." Mind you, the girl that she is introducing him to is standing next to her girlfriend. They're so preoccupied in letting her know that he isn't available that you didn't even realize that she is not buying what he is selling. Okay, you know what? I don't know these people very well. Maybe they know each other a little better than I do, and they're just f***ing around. But then I hear her say to him, "Oh my God, did you see the way she was staring at you? I'm gonna have to stay by your side the entire night to let these hoes know." Girl, to let these hoes know what? That your man's never been on Sesame Street because he has one of those Muppet-looking faces? Because that's the only thing I would want to know. After witnessing all that, I really try to stay out of sight from her. I stayed by the food because like a dog, I am motivated by food and I'm very reactive. Fortunately for me, I crossed her line of vision and she said, "Hey, Brittany," and let's just call her Jen. So I was like, "Hey, Jen." That was literally all I had said to her, okay, with my husband, Danilo, standing right next to me. This looked at me, looked at Danilo, looked back at me and said, "This is my boyfriend, Adam, and don't get any ideas because he's with me." I can promise you that I am coming up with ideas, but they have nothing to do with him. It had just enough of this. So I said to her, "Do I look like Ariana Grande to you?" She froze. She was like, "Why are you asking me that?" I was like, no. And then I was like, "Exactly. I don't want your SpongeBob looking man, and neither does anyone else here, so you need to reel it in, okay?" He did not speak to me for the rest of the party, or anyone, quite frankly, and I thought to myself, damn, I guess the hoes will never know now.
Okay, but let's be honest, who hasn't dealt with this kind of shit? Literally, who hasn't dealt with, a girl at a party who's with her man happens to say something to you offhand, and suddenly she f***ing hates you. All of a sudden, you are literally public enemy number one. Oh man. No, that comes from a deep-rooted insecurity, man. To me, that's someone who's so afraid of someone taking her man. Maybe she's got issues with cheating. She's got some PTSD with that shit. But realistically, a conversation with your man does not mean you trying to take him. Maybe I'm just trying to be polite. The mental gymnastics that I have to, the social gymnastics that I have to do just to make a girl secure. When I meet a couple in public, number one, I mention I have a boyfriend within the first, maybe 30 seconds. Number two, I almost always involve the girl in the conversation, okay? I'll be saying a couple things to the dude, she gets a little bit insecure and weird, and then I move over and make sure that she's part of the conversation because I can see she's in her feels. Okay. Believe me, I don't want your man. I got one, and that is enough. Does anyone else do this? I just find in social situations when you're meeting a couple, you have to be so unbelievably careful, especially if you're in a new group of people. I don't want to talk to the dudes because I know off in the corner there's gonna be a girl that's peering, thinking that I'm out here trying to snap up whatever penis happens to be in the vicinity. Let me tell you, I think it's a lot more healthy to be unbothered when your significant other is talking to a member of the opposite sex. This type of controlling behavior does not help anybody. It's alright to get a little jealous. I think that's kind of cute. I like it when my man gets a little jealous. It means he cares. But what's the matter? You don't trust other women to be able to have a chill conversation with the opposite sex without wanting to steal that man? Be freaking for real. It really do be like that though. Like,
things that my exes did, and I still stayed with them.
oh, I love these videos.
One time I was going over to my boyfriend at the time's house, and I was getting in the shower to get ready. And before I got in the shower, he texted me and was like, I want the Gluck Gluck 9000. And I was like, don't worry, babe. Like, I'm showering, and then I'm on my way. So naturally, I take an everything shower. I exfoliate, I shave, I do the whole 9 yards. But when I get out of the shower, I see like 20 texts from him, all sad faces. Me thinking like, oh, he just really wants me to come over. Like, I must be really good. Like, I'm really good at that. Wrong. He texts me back and says, I just got the Gluck Gluck. And I was like, what do you mean? Because I'm not with you. I'm in the shower on my... What do you mean? He got the Gluck Gluck 9000 from my friend at the time. Literally in the amount of time that it took me to shower, he had another girl over and did all of that. I still went over after. Like, I definitely went over and we fought, but I still went over and we continued the relationship. That same boyfriend convinced me to give up my V card by threatening to sleep with one of my friends. He fully said, if you don't sleep with me, I'm going to sleep with your friend. And me, young, dumb, and in love, said, okay, fine, here it is, here you go. And he still slept with her even after taking it.
Oh, man.
Sex. One time we were driving and we drove by a car that happened to look like a guy I used to hook up with, his car. And because I just happened to look out the window as this car drove by, he got so mad that he made me get out of the car and walk home. Probably called me every name in the book, told me he saw right through me and literally threw me out of his car. And I walked my half home. Still went back down though. That same ex lied to me about his name. He said that his middle name was actually his first name, which isn't true, but such an odd thing to lie about. Like, if you can lie about that, what else do you lie about? Obviously a lot of things, but at the time, didn't care. Same ex, didn't know when my birthday was. And when I asked him, like, do you know when my birthday is? He got mad at me for accusing him of not knowing. And instead of like looking on Facebook and just like trying, like pretending like you know, he guessed, and he guessed the wrong date. I'm fully convinced the birthday that he did say was the birthday of the girl that he was cheating on me with at the time. Not to mention, he also called me her name one time. I could literally make a part 2, 3, 4, 5 of this, but I guess I'll end with, didn't have a job, drove his mom's car, and he used me for all my money. And before any of you call me stupid, my brain wasn't even fully developed yet, and I'm just a girl, so it isn't my fault.
The things we will allow when our brains are not fully developed yet. Hell, I allow certain things and my brain is more than developed. My nose is so itchy right now, like, get out of there. Sorry, I'm just picking my nose on camera. There's a fluff. And for those of you who are watching this and being like,
how could she ever do that?
Oh, come on. Come on. You have to have someone treat you like this for you to like snap out of it and to never be treated like that again. Because let's be honest, like when we're in that position, it's like,
no way would they ever do that to hurt me. Oh, that's just normal, right?
Like, we don't even know what gaslighting is. We're just like, you know, we say things that upset us and then they turn it around on us and it's like,
oh, yes, oh, I'm a horrible person. Oh, how could I ever have done that to you?
We become a little more jaded with age. Where are y'all finding these villains? Listen, they don't seem like villains right off the bat. They don't. I also love that you just listed off a bunch of really terrible things that he did to you, like cheating wise, not respecting you, etc. But the minute that he catches a hint of you doing the same things as him, it's out of the car with you. I know a hypocrite when I see one. And girl, I can't even remember like how many times I did an everything shower because I thought I had a date and I got stood up or ghosted. Do you know how much time it takes to do this? To do this? It's a lot of effort.
Okay.
No appreciation for the hairs I gotta pluck, the feet I gotta shave. No appreciation.
Y'all, please, just watch the next clip, please.
Someone for 8 years without a ring, and that's totally fine. Like, that's your prerogative, but it works for us. Next thing is that I pay my boyfriend rent. In the past, when we've rented properties together, we've split the rent. Now my boyfriend has purchased a house. I'm still an adult that needs a place to live and pays for the place she lives. I just happen to pay that money to my boyfriend. People are upset that I'm doing this work for free and I'm not gaining equity in this house. way that I look at it. And he was able to buy this house because that has been a goal of his. I didn't have the ability to take on that risk. I don't see it as my place to like reap those gains.
Y'all know, I do not speak on other people's relationships ever, okay? I'm not gonna speak on nobody's but something about this video did not sit well with my spirit.
All right, so for those of you who haven't seen this TikTok saga, essentially that girl that was just speaking is talking about how her boyfriend bought a house, which she pays rent to live in, and she does like home improvements and, you know, interior design and stuff like that. And she is doing all of this like home improvement stuff for him.
For free.
And she's not getting any equity in the house. She is not only paying her boyfriend rent to live in his house, which is like honestly kind of fair. I feel like that part is fair. But to be doing all the work to improve the house and improve its value for free, and he's still making you pay rents, it's gotta be one or the other, babes. I don't know.
I don't know about that.
For context, baby girl, been with her boyfriend since she was 20 years old. They've been together for 8 years. She is 28 years old. This man worked hard, saved his coins, purchased a home without her. Purchased a home without her. That house is under his name and his name alone. I'm assuming that they were living together before. She did not clarify, but one can only assume after 8 years you guys are probably living together, okay? They both move into this house together. It's a fixer-upper. What she does for a living, or what she does very well, is renovate homes, design, do all the fixer-upper type things. She is now renovating that home for that man for free. He is charging her rent to stay there. She is paying rent, living in a home that her boyfriend of 8 years owns, that she is renovating for free. She's paying to live at a construction site. She also has a full-time job. So she's putting in these man hours outside of work for free for a man who has not proposed to her. They're not engaged. It's been 8 years. And the girls are eating her up in the comments, and she turned them off. All right? And I do not want to come down on baby girl at all, because we've all been stuck on stupid for a person at one point in our lives. But I think it's time for you to free yourself. Baby girl, free yourself, please. Because one thing I know about a man with that much audacity, is they thrive in relationships with women who are as insecure as you are, you know? And it's okay. As long as you become self-aware of that and free yourself. I saw a TikTok a while back, and this man was like, you know, you don't have to lie to a woman, because if she loves you enough, she'll lie to herself. That man convinced that woman that she is okay with this situation. She was in that video really trying to convince us that we just don't understand their dynamic. Baby, he hates you. He don't want you. He don't want you. He's waiting on his wife.
Oh my.
Yeah, and he's getting home.
Oh, that's a realization. Oh my.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be lying if I said that I don't know some really, really amazing women who give so much to their men. So much. They've been in these relationships for years and years. And, you know, they give everything to their man.
Everything.
And all they want is that little ring on their finger. Just a little ring on their finger. That's all they want. That's all they want. Are they gonna get it? No. It really is quite unfair, isn't it? I hate to say it, but she is kind of like allowing it. She's allowing it. It's totally fair. Your boyfriend bought a house. Maybe he feels some type of way about keeping expenses split or whatever. But that's one thing, okay? It is an entirely different thing to then be doing home renovations for someone, increasing the value of the property, and not getting anything back. Like, it depends on where you're from, but like, once you're like common law like that, like, I don't think that that's allowed. Common law like might protect, it depends on where you are. Common law laws are quite strict in Ontario, where I live. where pretty much if you live with someone for a certain amount of time, the government just kind of sees you as married anyway, unless you sign some sort of like cohab agreement that separates everything. If you guys separate. Free yourself, bestie. Just free yourself from this man's clutches. Please do yourself a favor. Confronting my fiance about why I didn't get anything for Valentine's Day again.
Talk about why you didn't get me anything for Valentine's Day?
No, I don't.
I don't.
There's a flower shop on the corner of your job. You couldn't walk there on your lunch break? My fiance hates me. How many Valentines is this now?
Oh,
No
absolutely
flowers,
not,
no
babe.
card, nothing. How many? One time when we were getting back together, you got me flowers one time. But after that, no flowers. Ever since we had kids, no flowers, no...
That man hates you, bestie. That man hates you. That man thinks that the only time he would ever do something nice for you is if he's about to lose you. I love how he's like,
Oh God, not this again. Oh, how dare you have standards? Oh my God. So the nagging, I can't deal.
it literally takes like zero effort, like hardly any effort to make your significant other happy. Women are not that complicated. Well, we are. Listen, we can be kind of complicated, I'm not gonna lie. But to be frank, really all we need is someone who's willing to do these little thoughtful things. These little nice, thoughtful things. You know, when we're sad, we like, get an ice cream or, for special occasions or, even just because. We get flowers. Do you have any idea how far that goes? Do you have any idea how could you not do that for someone you love? Isn't the whole reason you're in a relationship is like doing nice things for one another? I mean, that's the only reason I'm in a relationship, honestly. If you're not improving my life, then what the hell are you doing here? Truth be told, babe, I know there's always issues sometimes with leaving these relationships and it's hard and you got kids with the man, but you accept what you think you deserve, bestie. And that's true for a lot of the stories in this video. Come on now. We can do better.
It took me a few days to process what went down and be able to come on here and be ready to kind of give you guys a story time. This definitely is not going to be the dating update that anyone is looking forward to, unfortunately, but let's talk about it. I'll know that I've been seeing Church Guy. He's been so
Church
amazing,
Guy.
like almost too good to be true. Met this man, he took me to church. We've been on, 6 or 7 dates since. Things were getting pretty serious. We were having some serious conversations. Like, I cannot explain to you how kind and respectful, and this man has just been everything. They're kind of progressing with us. I thought, why don't I have him meet my friends? Like, that could be fun. So I invited him to come to my friend's Super Bowl party. Super exciting. I was waiting all week. It had been a week since I had seen him, so it's the longest that we've gone since we've met. So he picks me up at my house, and we head to the party together. When we got to the party, so this is the first red flag of the evening. We're walking into the house holding hands. The minute that we open the door and walk into the home, he drops my hand. Like, he doesn't hold my hand. In my mind, I'm like, okay, maybe he's anxious. Like, maybe he's overwhelmed. He doesn't want to, be holding my hand the first time he meets everybody. That's fine. I totally get that. Grab some plates of food, and I'm like, let's go sit with everybody. Like, all my friends are in the living room watching the game. And he's like, no, I want to sit out here, and goes to there's like a side porch, like screened in area where there was one of my friends and another TV. But everyone's inside. And I'm like, well, let's sit inside with everybody. Like, there's plenty of room. He just sits down out there and says, I'm sitting here. So again, I'm like trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, he's probably overwhelmed. There's so many people. Like, maybe he wants to just eat first and then we can go join everybody.
Girl, no, he doesn't want to meet anybody. And he does not want to be introduced to your friends as a guy that you're seeing. Who knows, maybe there was someone there that he was also seeing. Church guy. Church guy. That's funny. Church guy. Oh, the dropping of the hand really resonates, eh? Oh, God. Tell me how you really feel.
I just don't like PDA.
Okay.
So at this point, we're out there, we're eating our food, we're watching the game. Of course, everyone's talking about the Super Bowl commercials, and a commercial comes on for this company I've never heard of. And I'm like, I can't believe this company has the budget to spend $7 million for a Super Bowl commercial. Like, to me, that's so wild. Like, that must be such a waste of money. Like, there's no way that this company is like big enough to afford that. He gets like very like worked up about it and was like, you don't know what you're talking about, like blah blah blah. And I kind of just brushed it off. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, he's still wanting to sit out there. I'm like, okay, like at this point I'm like, whatever, I don't care where we sit, we're watching the game, it's fun. I was like, oh, who's the halftime show? It's Usher, whatever. And I'm like, I bet, I'm telling you, Justin Bieber is gonna come out. Like, I literally will bet you, like, let's bet right now, I swear, like, he has to come out. Like, it's Usher and Justin Bieber. Like, he has to bring Justin out. And the church man looks at me and goes, why do you think you know effing everything? Says the F word to me. Excuse me? Like, not only are you cursing at me in front of my friends, the tone of voice he used and the way he spoke to me, like, he has never spoken to me like that before. Like,
girl, he was trying to put you in your place. And you know what that place is? I'm not interested in having a relationship with you place. It's funny how people totally switch up. Honestly, I just feel like he's interested in someone else. Like, even someone at the party. I'm just saying, based on past experience, whenever they switch up like that, it's because they like someone else. They're trying to push you away.
And I understand a lot of our time has been on like one-on-one and in private, like on dates and things, like with just the two of us. And like, we have never really been in a situation where we're around a lot of people. But I was like, genuinely, like, I was speechless. I didn't know what to say. I'm thinking, did he really just say that to me? Like, did he really just speak to me like that? I look back to the TV, the game's still playing, the Super Bowl, and goes, look at me when I'm speaking to you. I turned my head back to him from the TV, and I just stood up. I just stood up and walked out. I was like, I am not gonna sit here and let any man, much less some man who I'm not even dating, like, you're not my boyfriend. What makes you think, I don't care if you are my boyfriend?
I mean, I get that you didn't want to be in that situation, but you should have kicked him out. You should have just, there's the door, out to the bin with you.
Like, what makes you think it's okay to speak to another person like that? Over
Period.
Justin Bieber. Like, this isn't even a serious conversation. This isn't even a serious argument. I literally am just saying, like, this is my opinion. Like, oh my gosh, I totally think Justin Bieber is gonna, like, come out. Like, he got so worked up that I had that opinion, that he thought it was okay to speak to me like that. Went and spoke to my friends, and I'm like, I'm not doing this. Like, he's not, like, no. Like, whatever it is that we have going on, like, this is done. Like, I don't care. Like, that is such a red flag that you think at this point in our relationship you already feel comfortable enough to speak to me like that. Like,
I'm sorry, you should never be comfortable enough to speak to someone you're dating, someone you're in a relationship with, like that. My goodness. This person said you were dating but not in a committed relationship. I'm sorry, so we're okay with just treating people like if we're not in a committed relationship? Apparently, yes. Apparently that is somewhat the general consensus. He dated someone there. Literally, I told you. He didn't. All my friends are married or engaged. Okay, it's not just like that he dated someone there. It's almost like he saw someone that was hot, realized that,
Oh, there's so many more fish in the sea.
and then kind of pushed you away. All right, guys, we have a part 2. I need to know how this ended.
I've had boyfriends in the past, not one of them has ever raised their voice at me. Not one of them has ever cursed at me or in front of me even. Like, I don't stand for that behavior. Like, I am not the one. I don't know who you think you are. I was like, like, absolutely not. So I went inside with my friends. At this point, he's out there, like, talking to somebody by himself. I'm like, I'm done. He needs to leave. Like, I don't want him here. They're all like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. I was like, no, I'm
No, it's not.
He needs to leave. I don't
Good.
want him here. Like, at this point, it wasn't even the halftime show yet. Like, he didn't even make it to halftime without acting like a douche canoe. How do I get this man to leave without causing a huge scene? I ended up texting him and I was like, hey, like, meet me, like, sneak outside and meet me out front. Comes out and he's kind of like, hey, babe, like, he literally in his head thought that I was, like, texting him because I wanted to, like, sneak off and, like, we were gonna, like, make out in his car. Like, that's what he thought. That's how unaware he is.
Wow, the
about way
Delulu
he
is
treats
strong.
people. Why did you call me out here? And I was like, because I want to talk to you about the way that you spoke to me inside. Like, that was unacceptable. And he was like, no, like, immediate gaslighting. Like, it just really triggered me. And it was really upsetting that you're the kind of person that just makes assumptions and you just think that you know everything. Like, blah, blah, blah. Why does it bother you that I have an opinion? Like, why does it bother you that I think,
Period.
oh, Justin Bieber is going to come out with the halftime show? Like, why is that so triggering to you? He's like, I just don't want to be with somebody who like makes assumptions. Like, what if I do something and you're just going to jump to a conclusion? Like, you're just going to jump to an assumption about.
Yes.
I literally was like making a guess about who's going to win the Super Bowl or whether or not Justin Bieber is going to come out at the halftime. One, not an assumption. There's assuming something, being like having assumptions is totally different. Two, it has nothing to do with our personal relationship or the kind of person that I am. Like, girls aren't allowed to guess now. Like, girls aren't allowed to have guesses. You don't need to worry about me ever making an assumption about you in a relationship, because there's not going to be a relationship. Whatever we have here is done. This is it. Like, you will never speak to me or see me again after tonight. I was like, the way that you spoke to me, I saw what I needed to see. Like, if you think it's honestly okay to treat people like that, whether you treat me like that, whether you treat other people like that, whether you treat our future children like that, like, absolutely not. And he just kept on trying to gaslight me to leave. Like, I don't want you here. You need to get in your car and leave. And he literally got in his car and he zoomed off. And as I'm walking back in the house, I'm like, I don't want him following me on social media. I don't want him having any access to me or my life. Like, he's kind of scary. Like, his behavior honestly, like, scared me a little bit. I went on Instagram to find his profile to, like, remove him as a follower, and I couldn't find his page. As he was driving off in a fury, fuming, he had already blocked me on all social media. He had already blocked my number, like, literally, like, cuckoo. Like, I can't.
So church guy, eh? Yeah. Church guy. I'm not saying that to say, oh, he's a church guy. Of course he's acting like that. I'm saying that to say, wow, that's a kind of a contradiction, eh? Kind of a contradiction. He blocked you first so he could unblock later and you not know. Keep track of it in random search so you can block when he unblocks. Oh, okay, all right. Playing chess, not checkers. I see. Oh, damn. All right. I love that you told him to leave. That's like my favorite part of the story. Yes, that healed something in me, genuinely. My favorite part was when I also told him it was extremely apparent why he was in his 30s and single. Telling him to leave was my second fave. Oh my. Yeah, I mean, after a certain point, you're getting into your 30s. It's like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Well, it's very apparent what's wrong with me, really. All right, you can take your hazmat suit off.
Subscribe.